Hello you hairy hunks, welcome back to Cross Tour of Tony. In today's video I want to show you my playground and I'm going to ride through there and show you some of the devastation. This was probably caused by an error, somebody dropped a cigarette. I don't think it's criminal in any other sense, it's probably just a cigarette. But we lost, I think it was 8,000 hectacres, if you can convert that into your wherever you live and what that means. There were 1,200 firemen on the ground. There were 10 Canadair water bombing planes, 2 helicopters, hundreds of police to close the roads in the surrounding areas. I'm going to go along the D14, the road that goes to Calabria, and we'll turn right and go to where the start of the fire was. This is basically the end of the fire. I'm in the bottom of Grimo, in between Grimo and Coquelin. Let's take a look on the map of the area that was burnt and where we're going to ride today. I'm actually here, if you can see this in my great stubby finger. Let me find a stick. It's like a nice pointy stick. So we are basically here. And we're going to go along a D14, beautiful twisty road through the forest. I shall stop somewhere along here. There's a memorial for firemen that were trapped in 2003 in this forest fire. And then we're going to take a right across here, the Col de Fourche. I will try and leave links of the videos of this road and this road. Babagoo. Well, I don't know who that was. That was a cyclist, probably lost on the Tour de France. He asked me how much longer there was. I said, well, it was not long. I hope he's not lost. Anyway, let's get back to my map. We're going to come along here, up this, turn right over this, over the Col de Fourche, and then the fire actually started here. At the auto, or just here as the motorway services. Can you see this on the side of the motorway? It actually started there, so I'm going to try and get as close as I can to the start. I'll probably go to the racetrack. I know where we can get in there. And it progressed across here, or maybe this way, right down to here. Most of this was burnt. And then 2 days later it picked up again from the Gare Freinet, and it started to go up this way again to Videmont. So this whole area has been scorched. In the middle it's been really burnt. We'll see that now. So let's go and do a bit of riding and see what we can see, fellas. Catch you in a minute. So we're going to go along this road now to Gonferrand and just see what damage has been caused. Now we're at towards the end of the fire here. To my right in the forest there where it's more intense, 2 people lost their lives sadly. 1 young lady and 1 middle-aged man. 2003 there were quite a few firemen lost in this same area. This year luckily nobody in the special services, the police, the firemen were injured. Some were injured, sorry, yeah. A couple of firemen were injured on campsites where gas bottles were exploding, but nobody was killed, apart from those 2 people in the forest. Okay, let's go and have a look. It's really sad because I have the odour of burnt forest, and terrible. Ugh, stinks. The sad thing, it's going to take at least 15 years before the forest gets back into the condition it was before. Now look at it on that hill there. Went over the hill there, and then it went down towards another village called La Mole. On the right you can see the grapes, which are a natural fire break. They got a bit scorched there, but you can see they're still green. Well, you can see over there on the hill there's a road going up to a villa that seemed to have been saved. Again, you can see the grape fields that help reduce the progression of the fire. We have already given a carload of clothing and things that these people are in desperate need for. Some are homeless, living in caravans and mobile homes on campsites. You know, what can we do? Clean out the closet and do the best we can in our own small little way. Now, the giscle, make a beautiful one. Now, I'm just going to stop now here. So we can take in the area. You know, I can't imagine what 8,000 hectacres looks like, but we can see now there's that villa up there with the little road going up to it. They must have saved that. There's one in there, it's probably burnt. My boss who I work for, she has a friend that lives in here. They've lost everything. Lost everything. We see now another track going up the top of the mountain there. These are forest roads, obviously, that the firemen will use. Turning back towards Grimo village, and it was pretty much saved. Apart from the Canadairs, the water bombing planes, there were planes that came in with a retardant, a red fluid that reduces the fire's track. How can I say? It reduces the way in which the forest burns. I don't know how it is. It's called a retardant. It slows you down. And I remember being up here once watching a rally du Var. They've already replaced the power lines. Well, I say replaced, maybe they're not. They're alley, they haven't burnt. Galvanised steel. Oh yeah, it smells really strong here. Oh, we can see the power line down on the floor there, all melted. There's a power line down on the floor, melted, and now we're coming to see a bit of a really burnt area. Nothing. Not a blade of grass, no life, no animals, no wildlife, no birds, nothing. The benefit is we can see around the corners now without being surprised by other vehicles coming around through the trees. Now, as you can see, there's everything is burnt, but these are cork oak trees, and the cork actually protects the heart of the tree, the inside of this one's probably not so lucky because there's no cork there, but the ones that have cork all around them, they're going to regenerate next spring and they will start to show life again. A lot of them have been burnt with the intense heat into the interior, but the bigger ones, they will probably start to grow again next spring after we've had a good rain. Maybe this winter it will start. So there is hope that this will replenish, but as I said before, it's going to take about 15 years to get lush and green again like it was before. Look at over there, look. The whole mountain is burnt away except for that one villa at the top. Now they've obviously bombed it with water to save the villa. They do the best they can. Down below, well, that's totally burnt, but there's a caravan of some vehicles going on down there. It's a very, very sad thing to show you guys. It's my playground. It's where I come and do lots of riding to amuse myself and to wear off my chicken strips, but it's going to be different. I'll have to go further away to find some lush green mountains. As you can see, the leaves here are scorched, but they haven't all been burnt off completely. In 2003 this was burnt and firemen were lost, and here is their memorial. Firemen from the centre from La Seine-sur-Mer, which is near Toulon. They died the 1st of September 2003 whilst there was a violent forest fire. Their arms locked together like brothers, engaged, where they gave everything they had. They shared everything. The humour, the miseries. Merci les gars. There we 2003. 2021, almost 20 years, the forest was in its full glory. Look, life, a butterfly. There's a butterfly, did you see that, guys? It must be absolutely horrifying to be a fireman in the midst of that. Okay, let's get on. It's strange, and then we come into an area like this that seems to have been partially preserved. Maybe this is where the firemen were based. and retardants put all around them, so they are protected. Now look on the other side of this ridge. Yes, it did get over a bit, but the mountainside there still is lush and green. This is how I remember my little backyard, my playground. Green, twisty roads. As I say, oh, some more butterflies. There is life still in this area. As I said earlier about the oak trees with the cork bark, they regenerate. The pine trees, well, they won't regenerate, they're finished. But the thing is with the pine trees, as you all know, they have pine cones. And these pine cones burn. And they burn for a long time. And they explode like hand grenades when they get really hot. And it's the small parts of the cone that fly everywhere that set the fire off in a new place. Silly man on his push bike cutting the corners. So I'll cut the film here, guys, because this is how it should be looking like. We've come to show you the devastation. Okay, so we've just come down from the top of the mountain there, the Col de Fourche, and we're approaching Gonferon, where the fire started. We'll go down there now and go back into the fire zone. Okay, we are now arriving at the Circuit du Var. Okay, this is where the fire brigade had their headquarters. The actual start of the fire was not very far away from here. I think it's turned right here. If you want to learn to drive a Formula 1 car, then this is the place to come. There is an actual driving school here. Heaven knows how much it costs. So, we're getting into a bit of a burnt area here, fellas. This side, as you can see, is lush and green. This side is burnt, and we're just heading towards the actual area where the fire started. So there you go, there's the service station on the auto route. This is where it started, just here. Let's see if I can turn around somewhere. Oh, there's a nice turn point. And here's one of the water tanks that the firemen use to fill up their machines. Can you imagine from here to Grimo? The distance this fire has travelled is unbelievable. Okay, 2003 it travelled right down to the seafront. So here's the rest area on the side of the motorway, and just here is where it started. Now then, was it somebody that threw a cigarette out the car, out the window? Did they do it on purpose? The police are investigating. They've surely got loads of AND that people have left behind. But as you can see, it's 2 weeks since the fire, and grass is already beginning to sprout up. And I did see some Some young, looks like lavender. Let's have a look here. That survived. No, it's not a lavender, but it's a plant that has survived, or it's already grown. Because we did get a lot of rain here the week after the fire, as usual. Same in 2003, after the fire, 1 week later, terrific storms. So that's what's regenerating the grass in the ground, fellas. Alright, here we are. This is the path of the fire. It came from the right hand side, the other side of the racetrack. Remember, it started about 2 or 3 square metres wide, and it's taken its pathway here and across there. Up to the top of the hills there, you can see there's a, I don't know if you can see with the camera, but it's gone right over the top. Please, if you smoke, make sure there's an old house in there. Look at that. It must have been an old ruin. Please make sure you put your cigarettes out properly. Carry a bottle of water in the car. Put them in the bottle of water. As I said at the beginning of the video, 1,200 firemen were here from all over France. From Bordeaux, which is on the west coast. From right up the top near Calais they came down. They drove down overnight. 14 to 15 hour drive to help their colleagues here. And it took them over a week to get it under control. Passed through the start of the fire. We're back into a bit of green lush land now, going up to a small village called Massif. We get to Massif, we turn left, and we're going to head up to that Gardefrenay village. Right, so we're entering the natural reserve, national, the plane.To. So it's a national forest area. You know, we're 10 metres in and it's burnt. So the fire's come from our left with these strong winds and pushed it right across the plains. An area there where the firemen were, I suppose, parked with their vehicles. You can see it goes straight up into the mountain up there. The fires come from this way with the wind. It's a little bit windy today, but she came across pretty fast because this is not burnt. Up to the side of the mountains. Really got into that woodwork up there. Really got into the forest. Must have been horrendous to see. I think now we're in the heart of the fire. This is the worst area. Oh la desolation! I can see the cars going up. That's our road up there. Look at it. Like a lunar landscape.
Thank you.